What's up, YouTube? I'm going to do a mods video on my husband's 2020 KTM. He did buy this in October of 2020, so at the time of me filming this video, it's July 2023. So he has taken this bike, you know, round trip, about 1,200 miles to Tennessee. He didn't haul it up there on a trailer or anything. He did ride this bike. So, you know, just kind of want to point out some of the mods that help it be more comfortable, a little bit more functional, you know, and just kind of just aesthetically pleasing. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Anything that I show you guys today is going to be linked down in the description where he bought it, so it'll bring you right to it. And there will also be his Instagram, like my husband's Instagram, my Instagram, and my TikTok. So if you want to go ahead and give us a follow on there as well, that would be cool. And then go ahead and like and subscribe to this YouTube channel so that we can share more content with you and go from there. So just trying to have some fun here. So let's go ahead and jump right into the first mod, which is going to be the seat concept seat. And it has the orange KTM stitching right here, and it's, you know, it's really thick and padded, so a really good addition to making this bike a little bit more comfortable on longer rides and stuff like that. So that's a good mod. And the next one is going to be the Roto Pax gas tank. So the KTM doesn't have a huge gas tank, so if you're ever, like, you know, on a trail or like riding up in the Tennessee, North Carolina area, and there's not a lot of gas stations, if you know, need that little bit of extra gas just to get to the next gas station, so that's going to be a mod that he did add there, along with the rear tail rack by Vanasche Motorsports. So he has a lot of Vanasche Motorsports additions and mods on this bike that you're going to see in a few minutes. So that's a really great company. Their mods are great. They're kind of overbuilt in his opinion, as he said. And so yeah, highly recommend them if you're going to get any mods by that brand. So just, you know, I'll point those out along the way. The next mod that I'm going to show you guys is going to be the Touratech side boxes. So these, you know, are really good. They do get hot, the one over by the exhaust, but this, let me move this here so I can show you, open it up fully. So really good boxes, a lot of space. So, you know, when you're traveling and stuff like that, they attach easily to the bike. He did spray paint these black one time with like the rubber like spray paint. I can't think of the name of it right now, but basically you can just peel it off. But instead he put his stickers on here and just kind of his favorite brands, where he's been, and a couple of our friends and, you know, followers and stuff like that. So like CBR Smitty, Salt the Wound, 690 ADV, and let's see, I think we have like T-Dubs Kid over here. So just a few shout out to those guys. You know, really good motorcycle community out there. So if you're into motorcycles and you're watching this video and you don't follow them already or know about them, go ahead and give them a follow as well. So but yeah, these are really light, and you know, you can see they're very light boxes. So whenever you add them to the bike, it's not like those boxes add a lot of weight, obviously, but they hold a good bit of stuff if you're trying to go on a trip. So they go on both sides. Like I said, this side box is going to be right next to the exhaust, so this one will get hot. So just keep that in mind. If you're packing or anything like that, don't put anything on this side, kind of more so than the other specifically, just so it's not right next to that exhaust the whole time, especially depending on like how far you're going. And then also the Pannier Racks. So these racks here are what the box is attached to. So, you know, again, if you're going to add those racks, that's a good addition to the bike as well. So the next one is going to be the skid plate, the Vanasche skid plate. So obviously this bike is meant to go on trails and stuff like that. So this is a really good addition to kind of protect like all of the important pieces under here. Not only that, it kind of makes the bike look a lot better. I really like it. It's almost like armor in my opinion. So I think it looks really good on the bike. So yeah, other than like aesthetically pleasing, I think it does have a really good function. The next mod that I'm going to show you is going to be the vanasche foot pegs. So these are these he bought himself, like, for the vanasche foot pegs and everything. So these are really good additions. It's got, you know, like the little teeth, so you're not like sliding or anything like that with your boot. Because again, if you're taking this bike on a trail and you're getting muddy or anything like that, it's good to have something with a little bit of extra traction on here. So these are nice. And then let's see, the next one is going to be the fuel cap. Sorry, this one I couldn't think of the word. So the vanasche fuel cap. So back here, when you have like luggage and stuff, he did change the fuel cap because the fuel cap comes off. So when you're at a gas tank, I'm sorry, a gas station or something, like, you don't want to leave this behind, obviously. And this one is keyless, whereas the stock one is not. So just, you know, kind of not having to put the key in is convenient, especially in this location. And the fact that it stays attached to the bike is a huge plus. So highly recommend that vanasche fuel cap. So the next one is going to be the rear brake pedal arm. So that is going to be this right here. So the rear brake pedal peg is also separate. So that one, like the pedal pad, I think is what it's called. So these are both by Vanasche Motorsports. And again, very solid piece. So if you're going to go ahead and update your brake and everything, highly recommend these. And this also has the teeth on it. So can't say enough good things about Vanasche Motorsports parts. So highly recommend that if you're thinking about, you know, getting anything from that company, do it. You will not regret it. They're built really well. So we have that. We also have the Vanasche kickstand pad. So if you've watched my husband's other video, like of his sports bike, his super sport, he also has a kickstand pad on that bike, and he bought it for this one. So this is a Vanasche Motorsports kickstand pad. So, you know, whenever you're like in dirt or mud or rocks, gravel, anything like that, even blacktop, because blacktop, your peg will sink in the blacktop, especially in the heat. So with all the weight of the bike. So go ahead and, you know, get you a kickstand pad, and it just highly reduces the risk of your bike kind of falling or like sinking into whatever it's in, you know, sand, stuff like that. So highly recommend that. The next mod that we have is going to be the Vanasche double take mirrors. So these mirrors here, they make a couple brands. I'm sorry, styles. This style is the one that he liked. There is one that is circular. So it really just depends on the look of what you want your bike to look like. He wanted this one to kind of look more adventure style, you know, but if you like kind of like a more retro look, then I think the round ones would look good. So again, these are all going to be linked in the description, and you can kind of just take your pick of what you like. But they kind of hook up here, similar to the ram mount. So the ram mount is going to be, you know, right here. That's another mod, if you want to call it a mod, I guess, to the bike. So it just hooks around the handlebar here. And then this is where you can put your phone, GPS, anything you want to put here. So yeah, and then obviously he has another ram mount right here. But yeah, these mirrors are a great addition, and they fold in, so highly recommend these as well. So we also have the R&G frame sliders. So frame sliders, you know, if you're gonna drop your bike, it just kind of helps protect the important pieces. So these are really great frame sliders. They look really good, really clean on the bike. They stick out a good bit. So again, if you're looking at the R&G frame sliders for this bike, highly recommend these. This bike has been dropped once, I think, maybe twice, I'd forget. But basically, you know, it did protect everything on the bike. So, and when I say dropped, like, it was never an accident or anything. It was just something that kind of happened in gravel. So nothing too bad. But everything, you know, worked out well. So big plus, but obviously just kind of comes with the territory of having a bike. The next one, it's not really like a mod, but I wanted to point out the Nelson Rigg tank bag for this bike. Nelson Rigg has some great bags. I have a few for my Ninja 300, and you know, it's not like a huge bag. I don't have very big hands, but you know, you can hold a good bit in here. And then it has this flap that goes over the zipper, and it has this window here, so like if you need to put a map or something like that, like if I don't know who still use maps out there over GPS, but you know, I'm sure there is a reason. I just haven't come across one myself in a really long time. So highly recommend that. And it just kind of attaches, you know, around the frame of the bike here. But other than that, I think it looks great on the bike. So that's one. And then obviously, like we went over the ram mount already. The next one I'm going to show you is going to be the Nomad front ABS sensor guard. So obviously, if you're out riding, especially like on a trail or something, you do not want to hit that wire. So this right here is going to be the Nomad front ABS sensor guard. So this one is orange on the front. So just kind of give you a view of how that looks. And then let me show you the rear one. So he also has a Nomad rear ABS sensor guard. And this one is going to be black. So again, this is just how that one looks on, like installed on the bike. I think it looks good. You know, like it's aesthetically pleasing. But honestly, you know, you want to protect this line, obviously. So I think it's just a good addition. The next one is going to be the Magura KT. It's like a KTM brand lever. They don't make it for the brake side, which is kind of weird. But this is the lever here. But it's a little bit shorter than the stock one. So when you have the stock one, and I'll show you on the right hand side, but if you drop this, it will break off because it sticks out so far, and it really, you know, this gives, so I don't know, it just, that is something that he once the circle part broke off at the end, he ended up like just kind of smoothing this out. And honestly, it looks fine, but I kind of wish they had, like, you know, for both sides so it would match. But honestly, they're the same color, so I guess that's me kind of being a girl, wanting them to match and having them for both sides, but it works. So that's going to be something, is going to be this brand here. Let's see. And then the other thing is, I think it's like the Heidenau tires, Heidenau K60s, if I'm saying that correctly. So these are not the stock tires, but he has those in the front and the back of the bike. I think it looks amazing. You know, the knobby tires, just that whole adventure look. So yeah, if you're looking for like adventure tires, I highly recommend these. They look great, and he says they grip really well, so highly recommend that as well. All right, so he did also have the Puge windscreen at one point. We don't have it on this bike anymore. So to be honest, like I said, it was the Puge brand. It kind of looked like a Pope hat. I don't know, it didn't look great on this bike, honestly. And then because this was orange, it kind of made this look like a beak. I don't know, it's really preference. Puge makes a great product. I have it on my bike, but for some reason on this KTM, it just didn't look right. And then for the price for that windscreen, honestly, like, it didn't do any difference for like wind or anything like that. So there really wasn't a point. So when he took it off, you know, put the windscreen on, take it off, couldn't really tell much of a difference. So, you know, it's just, what do you want for your bike? That's all it is, really. But, you know, honestly, there's not much more to show you on this. It's all pretty straightforward. He loves this bike overall. The only, you know, negative, honestly, is going to be that it's a KTM. And what I mean by that is this bike has had a couple recalls, a couple things when he bought it. He did buy it brand new that maybe like needed a screw that maybe came out or something like that. Like just random things that need to be fixed. And of course they're under warranty, so you'd have to get with the manufacturer. And KTM is a pain in the butt to deal with, honestly. So out of having like Kawasaki's and Hondas, and I think we've had a friend that had a Yamaha, if I'm not mistaken, but basically out of the other bikes that we've personally owned, which is Hondas and Kawasaki's, they're amazing to work with. KTM has been a pain to work with as far as that goes, but the bike itself is great. So just kind of an FYI if you're thinking about getting a KTM or anything like that. So I think that is it as far as you know, the mods that he's done on this bike. Like I said, everything will be linked in the description down below. Go ahead and give us a like and follow. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And if you have any questions or anything like that on this video, let me know, and I respond to all the comments. And then, you know, I can add this video to the playlist to the other videos that I've done, which is on my Kawasaki Ninja 300 and on his Super Sport, his Kawasaki. So, you know, go ahead and give us a like, and, you know, we'll see you on the next video, and we'll talk to you later. And if you have a bike, ride safe, guys.